you know, a decent amount more of the AP damage so that it's not just the Nidalee as well.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how this mid matchup goes and what they can capitalize on, because if Gideon gets fed on the Nidalee again, this composition starts to really ramp up quickly and you can do a lot of chunk damage. But at the same time, it's not unlike game number 1 in terms of how the late game is going to go. Sure, Tristana scales pretty well, but Gen.G have Ornn, and they're going to have Ornn items, the ornaments that come with it. Jinx's late game scaling. If get out of jail free card in the Lantern in almost every exchange, great ball carrier. And it is the stronger team mechanically, historically speaking, right? I mean, yes, they did just lose game 1, but I look at this comp and I go, okay, well, BDD might have a hard time, but I trust that this roster will be able to play around it and scale up for the late game, not make huge mistakes, and not get picked like we saw in game 1. It's time to tighten it up, Gen.G, because game number 1, we were walking off of the plank. You know, you were walking off of cliffs, basically, and I think that it's very easy as Gen.G to just not do that the second time around. But if KT Rolster get control of mid, get that prio, get some picks, get Gideon a little bit ahead, I mean, there's a way where you have a very similar game, Drake control, and start taking over.
Try to do that for sure. Worked for them rather in game number 1, so I don't mind KT kind of running it back, bringing back the Lucian, which has seen a lot of success. Lucian, very much like Aurelia, which we saw for a little bit, it's like it gets picked in very specific scenarios like this where you know they're going to go for a pick that you can do very well against in the lane, and generally it dominates there. It also helps that, you know, guys like Chovy, Showmaker have played it a lot. It's a very mechanically demanding champion that if you mess up a couple things, it loses a lot of its power.
Yeah.
So it does have a high win rate for a lot of those reasons that I mentioned.
You have to be the type of player who is willing to risk it all, basically. Because if you make a mistake, you're going to die, but you have to be confident to know when you can take those trades and when you can push the envelope and kind of poke out some of these control mages so you can get that advantage, because kill pressure is the most important part of the lane prio for Lucian. If you can get that, then your jungler has so much more control and can even threaten to get you kills and get you ahead. And a fed Lucian is a big problem. He scales very well, not as well as some of the other mid champions, especially AP champions, but he scales well until you get to very late in the game. And during that power spike window, I mean, sometimes he can just kill people by himself, like he can 1v2.
Yeah.
Squishies.
I just remember, I always harken back to Griffin trying to do funnel Lucian. You know, it never really worked out, but you could see what they were thinking. Kind of along the lines of what you were saying, like that kind of mid-game to early-late game, right? In that sweet spot, Lucian can do some incredible stuff. Not to mention just having some ridiculous lane prio. And you can see here, this is what I was talking about. Chovy has played it 4 times, Lava Enclosure once. It's 6-0 against Orianna.
Yeah. I mean, it's a rough matchup for the Orianna. Again, not unwinnable, even though the stats would imply that. But it's the lane you're never going to solo kill Lucian unless Dove makes a big mistake, you know, for example.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen. The wave should always be pushed towards the Orianna. So that means that if you're Clid, you know, you have a harder time making plays because you're just going to be chipped away at by Dove every time you try to walk through that mid part of the map. They're also going to be able to rotate towards his objectives faster, which means that if Clid wanted to go for an early Drake, for example, which we've seen so much of, it becomes a lot more risky to do so. And things like this, like that BDD, making a choice like that, as long as the Lucian is there to punish, like this is the kind of stuff we're talking about.
Okay, flash on in, level 2, as they get the stun onto Ruler as another jump forward. And through the exhaust, they're trying to get this kill, but they will not. That's going to be first blood over to Ruler. And now Zeus with no flash in a bit of a wonky spot here. Double kill now to Ruler. And
what are you
now
doing?
A hook and a triple kill to Ruler.
All right, we're going to game 3. See you in game 3. Wow. These are mistakes you cannot make. And I get it, Gideon, I get the spear. Maybe I could turn this if they push the issue. But you cannot pounce in. There's a Thresh there. Are you just counting on him missing, and what did you get out of it? What were you aiming for? What were your goals? What was it all for? We're going to watch it again, all as much as it pains us. But level 2 is hit, but they already have level 2 to counter. You have the crash down here. Ruler flashes, the follow there is there, but he has heal. And then Clid comes through, there's too much damage. And now, like, okay, Zeus is in trouble. But Gideon throws a spear. And then where are you going, man? That's an Olaf. They have a Thresh. You don't have a minion blocking there? I mean, maybe he thought there was like 1 minion left when that happened. That's a whoopsie. That one is one that is definitely going to, that one's going to sting for a little while.
1,100 gold in the lead here now for Ruler at 4 minutes. That's not supposed to happen. And there were a lot of things that went into that, right? Saving Ruler, saving Private Ruler. He's not really a private anymore. Very much a veteran, very high ranked in the LCK. But there was the Guardian, there was the exhaust that Life brought in, and of course the timing on Clid being on the bottom side of the map that I think KT should have been respecting a little bit more. But instead, you know, they just went for it, right? It's kind of that lane matchup kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where in the 2v2, yes, it is an incredibly strong all-in, but...
That's why you take exhaust, though, in this case. Doran's going to have to...
Yeah, he's getting clapped a little bit here. He is going to have to flash away, and he does have enough regen to get out of there this time around.
It's a flash trade, so it's not too terrible, actually. Does end up being, you know, best case scenario for him, all things considered.
Oh, he almost stalled the Grump.
Well, they can force a Drake play here, I feel. You know, there's not a whole lot that KT can do to deny this. Looks like they might even try to make more happen.
Yeah.
If you crash down here, Zeus, I don't know if anyone's going to be able to forgive you.
Clid, I think, should just run at the Cloud Drake. Like,
yeah, I'm a little bit surprised he's not doing it.
There's no world in which really Gideon, Noah, and Zeus, with no pry on the bottom side now, can challenge you. But he's going to go for the Krugs first.
Also, BDD had just backed. Doesn't have teleport, has to have that long walk back. So there was an opportunity for Dove to try to rotate in.
That's probably why.
But it's, you know, either way, like KT feel really uncomfortable. He can now do it.
Oh. Not gonna happen.
You can't stand here. You cannot do it.
Well, he's Stana. But
he is until he's hooked, and then
he's gray screen.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Clid comes down here. They still have pry on bottom side, and Orianna's back. So, as you mentioned, Wolf, good catch.
He does have cleanse also. Just right there. But yeah, there's the Drake. Finally, gonna get this one. And look at where the group up is on the top side of the map. Actually, BD has taken a rare opportunity to try to fast track that so they can slow this down. He actually gets the scuttle.
Oh, man. Now, we do have Doran here with Cask available. Nice dodge by BDD. He had flash himself, but he's just confident enough that with the movement speed, he will dodge it. Doesn't even have boots, but...
Yeah, that was a bit odd. I feel like the cast was a bit of a whiff there, more than a... I mean, it wasn't like a terrible cast.
It was like a max range cast.
Yeah. It's a tough call to make if you're Doran in this case, but... You know, you're trying to get prio on that Rift Herald that hasn't even spawned yet, and now you're a cask down, as it is coming up in just a few seconds here. For, you know, KT Rolster, you gave up the Drake. Jinx is super fed, up 30 CS. You can't give up that Rift Herald, so I get the idea to try to group up there. But Dove isn't there, doesn't have prio. I mean, are they going to be able to make this happen? Can they take a fight for this? I don't think you can, but if you give it, then you're just going to give over way more gold. They might just funnel that into the bottom lane. Like,
yeah.
This is such a terrible position for KT Rolster, no matter which way you try to say it, no matter which way you try to swing it.
Yeah, Glit's just going to get this for free. They know this is happening. All that prio that you had in the mid lane with the Lucian, it kind of just loses a lot of power now because the jungle's behind. Your bottom lane has so much pressure that Gideon needs to babysit a little bit. It's, you know, it allows BDD to play so much more aggressive and to get in positions like this where actually you're the one pressuring the Lucian.
This is the situation I was talking about where, like, you should never be in this situation if you're the Lucian, if you're playing this very well. Okay, he tries to bait this out.
Nice try.
Dove actually could die here. BDD has flash. He has to respect. He had to use his ult defensively there, and he was hoping maybe Gideon could turn that one around.
Yeah, I mean, if he lands a spear, at least they get the flash, but not meant to be. BDD with the blue buff is just really enjoying his time in the mid lane.
20 CS up for Rascal, 30 CS up for Ruler. In the Orianna Lucian matchup, 20 CS up. Okay, this is Genji back to form. Angry Genji in game 2.
Yep.
Draft for KT Rolster. Again, very solid. You know, you had high tier picks, you had the Rel Tristana, you had mid Prio, but everything went wrong on the bottom side of the map. And you could just see how the game evolved so quickly as a result. With a Klid that has 3 assists. And now you can't even play aggressively on the bottom side of the map. You just have to sit back and farm as best as you can while knowing you're going to lose minions.
Yeah.
Try to minimize how many you lose. I mean, that's your goal now.
You skip straight into the power trough, right?
Yes.
Of the Tristana, whereas the Jinx just gets hyper scaled herself. So it's the worst of both worlds if you are the Tristana player in this case. Especially when it's Ruler, of course. Gideon's back. He's going to miss the spear again. Actually commits to the challenging smite, but BDD is totally fine. Dodges that spear as well.
Rift Herald goes to Ruler, as I mentioned.
Yep, they have the damage on this turret. Gotta go for this one.
Gonna get the whole thing. Every last one of those plates to Ruler. Not yet, but in a second when he finishes it off. At least they're able to trade for this.
All right, Gideon. I mean, I like that he's trying to make plays happen. As okay, you're gonna get a little back massage and actually nearly kills BDD, but he felt confident enough that he didn't even have to flash away.
It felt like BDD was actually just teasing him without.
Yeah.
That was really close to death, but if you're that confident, I mean, that's the skill matchup between the two mid laners, right? That's what I was saying. It's like, yeah, okay, you have two, team-assisted speedrun robots fighting in the mid lane who cannot make mistakes and who are perfect. Yeah, of course Lucian wins, but if you're BDD, I think you feel really confident. You feel especially confident when your bot lane is that fed. He also got an early Seeker's Arm Guard. Makes it all the easier to sit there and take those trades, against the Lucian.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sad game here for KT Rolster. Like, I mean, I'm not a corner, but I pronounce this game over, I pronounce KT Rolster dead. Like,
yeah.
At about 5 minutes and 56 seconds or whatever the time was.
No, it was like 3 minutes 30 seconds actually.
Yeah, it was very early on in the game, and there's sometimes as a caster you go, well, let's talk about the positives here, and you look at the lanes. You're like, well, he's only down 20 CS or 30 CS or 7 CS in the top lane. I mean, Doran's brought it back a little bit. There's not a lot of good things to say, unfortunately, about KT's position in this game.
Yeah, because again, it's another one of these comps that with the Lucian, with the Nidalee, you're trying to get these early leads, but you fail to do that in all of the lanes. And then you're up against Ornn, Jinx, Orianna, so
yeah,
that's kind of why it was. This game is going the way it's going.
I mean, the way this game is going, we might see 2 Ornn horns, but we might not see any ornaments. Like the Ornn late game might actually not be a factor. So I guess you got that going for you, KT. You might just not even have to deal with that.
Notice Ruler is denying CS here.
Yep.
This is like the one way to deny CS. There's another way. You freeze your lane, and there are more minions for the enemy. You
could also play Dota, but that's I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm not a huge fan of that.
Agreed.
Oh man, it's like I've tried to get into that game so much, and I respect the people who are good at it, but that's too much for me, man.
You didn't like that time you got stunned for 5 seconds. You just turned it off from there.
Yeah, I tried to watch the International, and I was like, there's so many colors, so many things. I mean, it's just because I don't understand it as well, but
yeah.
Anyway, in this game, you can deny CS with your opponent's turret.
Yeah, or freezing, which
yes
happens every once in a while, but haven't seen it too much in recent times.
Well, you know, Gen G are able to get 2 Drakes. For KT Rolster, you know, you have to at least, like, the light at the end of the tunnel is game 3, but in this game, you're going to try your best to win it regardless, and you really have to rely on mistakes, and you kind of just have to play passively, which is, your comp can't do that and scale up, but unfortunately, this is just one of those long and painful deaths for KT, very likely, unless Gen G make mistakes, and even though they made a lot of mistakes positionally last game, KT in game 1 had a composition that was good at punishing those mistakes and making picks happen. They don't have that here. I mean, maybe you could cast somebody, or you could hit a spear and then Lucian ult, but it's really Gen G who can actually catch people.
All right. Yeah, they knew this was coming. He's been waiting up there in that little alcove forever.
That was actually so
alcove
tragic.
Gameplay.
Yeah.
But, you know, remember when you didn't ban Thresh? Yeah, I remember too. Still thinking about that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of champions who got a ban against Gen G, but you know, leaving Thresh open on blue side like that feels bad. Especially when Ruler is so good at Jinx.
Yeah, there's a reason why Thresh is kind of perma-banned now, especially with the onslaught of hyper carries coming back. Thresh is a great champion in general, but his synergy with those picks is just too good.
I mean, there are so many 80 carries that you can't play unless Thresh is in play. And so that's why you ban Thresh instead of all the other 80 carries. But he's also great at saving literally anyone.
He's just adding insult to injury with some very poignant emotes.
Like, that Lantern was like sucking the life of the dreams and the hope out of KT in this game. Like,
yeah.
It's like, oh, maybe they don't know. Oh, they knew like so hard. Like there was there ever any doubt? It's like when the villain is like, he pulls out the one-liner and he's like,
yeah.
no, I knew, I have known 6 months ago. No.
All right, well, Noah, he has defected. He is now part of the top lane crew.
This is actually one of those feelings everyone has when they play 80 carry when you end up losing lane. And then you like do this, but you know there's a high chance you're going to get picked. Oh, that was kind of a cool prediction.
Oh, they're going to just kill him.
I mean, but like, can you even blame Noah? Like, that's actually, I think that play to try to push top and get a turret is correct, because what else can you do?
Yeah.
Otherwise, what, are you going to just sit in the fountain? Like,
yeah. It always looks a little silly, and people like to make fun of it. But you're definitely right. You gotta go for the risky plays when you're really far behind. I mean, just the way it is.
You're Tristana. You can crush turrets very quickly. If Gen G don't respond as fast, then maybe you get away with it. Maybe you get a turret for your death, so you're getting money. I mean, you need items really bad. You're the one gleaming hope in terms of late game stability for this roster of champions they picked for this composition. So, I mean, I'm really just, I know I've kind of become the half full cup, the glass half full, whatever you want to call it, caster here in the LCK, but I mean, in this case, what can you really blame? Like, I'm the guy who's puts a positive spin on picks like that, but you know, Valdez, it's not looking good. My synopsis, or my prognosis is, you know, you probably want to sit down for this one if you're a KT fan.
Yeah. We're gonna see a replay of this. There's not much else happening, so I mean, again, you know, you're trying to get the turret, but you gotta take risks.
It was cool to see Ruler try to have the 200 IQ prediction, but at the end of the day, it wasn't necessary. He wasn't even alone.
Yeah. And
Gen G are just waiting for the Drake to spawn. Like, I want to go to game 3, so let's try to speedrun this game.
Ocean Soul is, it's even so good for their combo.
Yeah, it really is.
To the point, you know, Mountain Soul would have been great too, but Ocean Soul is probably even better.
I mean, you get a lot of value out of the Ocean Soul if you're Orianna too. With the mana regen you're going to get, you can just spam. Not that she's going to care at this stage of the game, and she's already got a fully stacked tier, but
it's just like you would throw out some poke, and then they just immediately all regen it. And then the second the fight begins, it's like, okay, well, Ornn is at full health, Olaf is at full health, Thresh is at full health. And nothing we did before the fight matters.
Yeah, how many spears did you hit? Oh, I don't think you hit any. Well, I think I hit 3 in there. No, you didn't. The health bars say otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, you watch any good TV shows recently?
Yeah, we're kind of going down that path.
What'd you eat for breakfast?
No, I had a burrito again today. I didn't actually get to eat breakfast today. Some days I do.
Me too.
You know, they have a place over here for you guys.
Our Chipotle clone over here.
Yeah, our Chipotle clone. It's really good.
Yeah, I actually kind of like it more than Chipotle now. I know a lot of people hate Chipotle, but I think it's pretty all right.
Yeah, there's just so many choices.
Okay,
you know?
this is cool, by the way. Hold on. Like, if this were...
Wait,
look at all
happening.
these words. Like, they 120% can't see where we are, right?
Oh, got him!
Oh.
I mean, they're going to get a turret. That's not bad.
Yeah. No, I mean, and the thing is, if Genji tried to punish, they would have ended up losing out big time. But the problem is you trade a turret for a turret, which is totally fine if you're Genji at this stage. Look at all the extra gold they're going to get from these wards, too.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, on top of that, turret gold, which we just saw come in. And, yeah, we got PD and Gale Force here, ready for Ruler at 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah, no additional kills for Ruler in this game because KT know they can't. I mean, okay. They know they can't fight. KT can't, so there's no opportunity for Ruler to get even more fed. But the problem is that he's already ahead enough. He spies on their BF sword. That it just, it's a hard time.
Yeah.
We're getting to the point, though, if you're excited about Ornn being played in, for the first time in a while here in the LCK. Ornaments, we already got one. Okay, I wasn't sure, you know, if we were going to get in here or not. Crossfire Gauntlet, upgraded. I don't know what that's called, but that's like the LCK meme, right? As we talk about how we don't know what they're called.
Fire Gauntlet.
Blue Fire.
Yeah, there we go.
Gauntlet.
You're referencing another game.
Am I? I just think,
Blue Flame Gauntlets.
Oh, Blue Flame Hellions?
Yeah.
Anybody? I don't know. I was just thinking
That's
about.
an ST2 meme.
I was actually thinking about the blue fire in like Super Mario 64, like underneath the castle.
Yeah.
Some of the torches are red, but then there's the blue torches.
That's true.
They're even more hot.
Yeah, you don't want to, you know, you're doing that cool thing where you have the lighter and you pass your finger through the flame. You don't want to put it through the hot blue part.
No.
You want to do right through the middle, I think.
Also, like, it's not that cool. Like, I don't think you want to do it in general.
Yeah, probably.
Actually, just don't stick your hand in the fire. Valdez is not giving you guys good life advice.
True. But I know some of you guys are going to do it anyway.
It's
so.
true. It's best that you know if you are going to do it anyway, don't put it in the blue part.
Exactly.
And if you're KT, don't put any of your champions in the blue part of this map.
Yeah.
Genji, so many wards across their side. They haven't been able to deep ward all too much because they're just playing safe and going to clear up some of these traps now. But
it's kind of the KT thing to do when they get behind. It's like, okay, well, now we just can take zero risk, right? They tried to do some things, but other than that, they're just kind of sitting back and farming. And it kind of reminds me of old Jin Air where it's like, okay, we're going to lose. We're definitely going to lose, but we're going to lose really slowly. It's going to take us a long time. And that's part of the reason why they did have the longest game time in round 2. As maybe we're trying to kill Ornn here. It was a very curious teleport, like he was trying to hide it, you know? But
yeah, I mean, I think they really just don't want to let Genji get this Drake for free. So teleport makes sure that you can at least be here, but like the timing of it is a little bit off. It's kind of strange. Either way, I mean, right now if you're KT, you need to throw, I mean, how many spears would it take to actually get everybody chipped off? Like, you need to hit like maybe about like 9 spears. They don't have vision, Genji don't, but
you know, that was the one brush. That brush in this one, I suppose. They're going to see Zeus and the rest of KT now.
Okay, 0 for 2 on spears in this fight.
Yeah, we need 9 more to get to the center of the Ornn. And even then, it's probably going to take some more.
It's not a Tootsie Pop in there.
Nope.
Oh, 0 for 3 now.
You know, that was close to Ruler. There is like one way for KT to win a fight. It's you just immediately blow up Ruler with no casualties. So if they can do that, you're feeling pretty good. The Ornn Horn, I think, is coming out here real soon.
Here it comes.
As right as I say that, we're going to use that into the pit as it goes the way of Gideon. who is going to steal away the Ocean Drake, and everybody on the side of KT should just get the hell out of there.
Zeus
they got away with Booter,
yeah.
and you just run away as fast as you can.
I mean, it was crazy that they decided to fight after that. After they got that, like everybody should be running so fast. Like everybody should have already just left Gideon before he even pressed the smite button. Just like, well, I hope you get this, man. Good luck. Oh no.
Boy. Well, you know, normally I would say someone has to face check here, but it's 5v4, and Doran wasn't even there to face check. He would have been the guy that you would want to do it, and yeah, it was just a little mistake. Nice play from Gen G. Life is trying to actually, okay. He does get the red buff. Does Ruler. That's going to be this Baron going down very easily over to the side of Gen G.
You know, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some, Valdez. KT lost once in a while ago. We're going to watch this again. These are just some of my default caster phrases I go to in games like this. I haven't had one of these in the LCK in a while.
One shot, one kill.
Yep.
Onto that dragon.
All right, Gideon and Doran get it. And then, for some reason, Zeus goes in with Dove there. When, I mean, look, if you just walk away, then you lose Baron anyways. So they try to get a pick, and then they lose Zeus, and then try to deny the Baron anyways. Unfortunately, like, there's no good plays you can make as KT here anymore. So I want to make it very clear to the fans watching at home that KT is not just botching this late game. They're just trying to look for anything they can because this game was at such a massive deficit that, I mean, I don't actually know. I think there's been like a few jokes about this. I don't know if surrender's actually allowed in pro play. I don't think it should be personally, but like if this was a StarCraft game, GG would have been typed ages ago. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
This is not a game KT can realistically expect to win. So they are going to try their best because this is so important for playoffs, right? Like, they already won the first game, but
yep. Never surrender.
Never surrender.
Never give up. That's KT's motto here in this game. As they're desperately trying to hit a spear onto Ruler, you can tell. You can see that Gideon is just aiming over and over, but Ruler, he just sits behind the cannon minion that is all Baron buffed up.
Trying to deny these wards in their own base visions so that the poke can't come through.
Yeah.
No hooks on the other side. I mean, give it to KT Rolster here, like in terms of how they've played this extremely bad situation. Could be worse. Like, it's only 6 kills for Gen G, if you could believe it.
Yeah, kind of like game 1, except less kills. 6-0 instead of 14-0. And we're just slowly pushing the turrets with the Baron buff. You know, this is kind of what Gen G was going to be able to pick up. We only have 45 seconds left on the Baron buff, but it should be enough time to take down this inhibitor. Gen G very respectful.
Doran just trying to take some of that chip damage for his team so they could maybe hope to engage. But if 10 players walk towards each other on the Rift, there is just no way KT win the fight. And Gen G are just not going to split somebody off. Like in another world, you could have someone like Ruler or BDD actually pushing the top lane right now and getting tons of extra farm and maybe even threatening a second inhibitor turret. But if you're Gen G, you've already won this game as long as the group is 5, so why would you do that? So Doran has to like tank some damage to hope they can get this Baron buff away.
Zoning Ornn ultimate, quite literally. Doran looking for the play, doesn't quite find it, but the front line here, Gen G is taking a bit of damage. See how big their wallets are right now. They're trying to get this inhibitor and back away, but that's actually some good damage from Dove. Zeus is going to immediately die, and Ruler is just insanely fed.
1v5, basically.
Yeah. He got pushed away, or at least he walked away. Oh, no, it took a ton of damage there. Ruler says, get me out of this game.
I mean,
let's play game 3.
We were talking about surrender buttons. I mean, it's unofficial, but when your Nexus turrets are under fire and you're waiting in the fountain as a pro team, I mean, that's as close as it gets.
Yeah.
KT in trouble here.
They're looking for some more kills. Maybe trying to get 11-0 perhaps. Ruler certainly is. He's probably screaming Penta. It's not even possible at this point. As the Nexus is going to go down, and we will go to a game number 3. Gen G take it with kills 9-0.